Hello pandas of the internet, my name is Panda-chan. I'm a full-time artist-ish, a part-time cosplayer, and decidedly not American. So the premise of today's game is a bit foreign to me, pun intended, but more about this later. To start, as always, I would like to shout out the fact that the large amount of games I have to play is from the Solo But Not Alone fundraiser, who was raising money for the Jasper's Game Day charity. And as usual, I would like to remind you to go and support the charity if you have the option. This being said, today we will be playing a very interesting game by the name of Fire Sauce Fever Dream. So let's get started. Fire Sauce Fever Dream was made by Amber Logston, and as always I did get permission to make this playthrough, although all the opinions will be my own. So let's take a look at what we'll need to play. The game is played in about 1 hour, and as usual we will need something to ride on, and interestingly, this time we will be using a cootie catcher instead of dice or cards, which is such a creative thing and I love it. Another thing we will need is taco wisdom, which I clearly lack, so I hope the childhood of watching Kim Possible cartoons will help me out at least a little bit. The game is set in the 20th century, so with a resounding lack of knowledge of the American pop culture during this time period, let's get into it. It's 2000, the peak of Taco Bell's innovative years. Life still feels frivolous, joyful even, and downturns in mood could easily be solved with a 69-cent hard taco and a bag of cinnamon twists. Beneath the ceaselessly buzzing fluorescent lights, surrounded by a sea of gray, teal, and purple plastic seating, it is easy for any hungry patron to sink into the air of mystical whimsy that permeates the dining room. And yet there are still days in which the fire sauce tastes off, as if it'd taken on a flavor you'd not experienced before in this plane of existence. A new breed of customer has started to awaken, who spend 10 whole minutes berating the high school junior behind the counter just trying to earn their $5.15 minimum wage. God damn it, you already got in this color Godzilla googly eye straw. You have 10 of them at home in a drawer, and your mom's pissed. Today's a day in which the usually immaculate vibes are off through some atmospheric interference, a rare fever dream where the overhead radio speakers sound gratingly tiny while pumping out Smash Mouth and Sugar Ray's latest hits. Today, you're confined in the walls of the fake American hacienda with no means of escape. Everyone's gotta eat. Every diner has a history. This particular diner is Edgar, a teenager whose day of skateboarding was like totally ruined by bad weather. So that's why he is currently sitting inside, slacking on his homework and people watching as he enjoys his food. I was just about to dig into my meal in earnest, driven by the overwhelming hunger from people watching and my nap in last period English. The manager shows up. His name's Chuck, and he's kind of a weirdo. A really big weirdo. Everyone knows that. He shows up so unexpectedly, it almost made me spill my soda. Well, anyways, he rattles on something about market research and how corporate wants every restaurant in the chain to give out questionnaires to their guests. Needless to say, I was less than happy to continue sitting there and listening to him rattle on. I scanned the restaurant looking for an escape plan, and thank whatever angels protect the bell as I spotted some of my friends in another booth. Unfortunately, I know my friends, and I know they're jerks, so they would not come to my rescue. They would not interact with Chuck out of the goodness of their hearts, so I had to take the leap myself. Discreetly gathering my food and belongings, I nodded along to whatever Chuck was rambling on about, and then I heard it, my chance to run. Chuck was going to grab the questionnaire. As I watched him retreat to whatever passed for a manager's office, I made my escape to the safety of a different table. My friends welcomed me with open arms, although I got a fair bit of teasing at my misfortune from them. But at last I have disappeared to a safe place to take a refreshing sip of my drink. Relaxing into my new seat as I grabbed my next item off my tray. My all-time favorite, the thing I always get, my spicy chili taco. I looked around at the trays of my friends and everyone had something delicious. Wait, what was that? I did a double take. Among the delicious tacos, burritos, chips, and salsa, there it was, a burger. The Del Burger, to be exact. And who exactly did it belong to? Kevin. Of course it would be fucking Kevin. Who else would pass on the security of a burrito or the sturdiness of a crunchy taco shell to risk it all on a sloppy, messy burger? No one but Kevin. A menace to everyone in his immediate presence, which currently included me. But hey, he is the one person you could count on to spice things up at a drop of a hat. This absolute monster carried fireworks everywhere and anywhere he went, and is the one guy who could get you everything and anything you needed. He saw me staring at his burger and took the biggest bite he could, with the contents spilling out from the other end. I laughed and planned to return to my food, but at that moment I noticed Chuck emerging from the back with papers in hand. I think Kevin noticed, and in a flash he was gone, disappeared. For a second, the rest of us braced ourselves for the impact, preparing for the creepy manager to talk our ear off for a decade. But then we heard it, a sizzling and then a bang, as we heard the unmistakable whooshing of soda overflowing. Somehow Kevin managed to smuggle Coke and mints and set them off on the far end of the restaurant. Chuck let out a yelp as he diverted his full attention to the new crisis, and Kevin was back in his seat as if he never left. Only fucking Kevin could manage to do something this stupid, yet this genius to save us all. The Bell is a chaotic place at the best of times, and today, with a thunderstorm raging outside, the chaos is doubled. The indoor seating area is full, the staff is lacking, and I'm pretty sure they just yelled about there being a shortage of shells, which will without a doubt enrage the people pouring in to hide from the weather. Speaking of people, there is a group of them standing close to the entrance. If I saw correctly, one of them brought the Taco Bell dog inside to hide it from the storm. It's a stray which wanders around the outside seating area, asking for food most of the time. I usually feed it some of Kevin's food when he is not looking. At this point, I think it's like this place's mascot. Everyone knows if you come to the Bell, you will see the dog. There was a petition from the parents to have the dog taken away, but nothing came of it. Oh, yeah, there it goes. There's an angry middle-aged lady yelling at the server for the lack of shells. I'm pretty sure she's my neighbor, Karen. What an embarrassment. Here's hoping she won't notice me and drag me into her tirade. Well, whatever. I have nachos to eat. Someone took all the napkins and is trying to dry off the dog. Karen is still screeching and shouting about something, and the soda volcano that Kevin set off 20 minutes ago still hasn't been completely cleaned up. Some more kids just walked in, dripping wet from the rain, with a handful of Digimon toys. I think they got them here last week due to some sort of promotion, but that ship has already sailed and they moved on to promoting some different toys. I don't think the group of kids knows that though. Things are escalating more and more. Dog is now in a standoff with Karen as she takes turns yelling at the staff and the dog. People have started falling and slipping on the spilled soda, and I'm pretty sure that Chuck is crying in the corner. On top of that, the storm is so bad that the outside umbrellas and chairs are flying off like kites into the sky. And at any moment, I think one of the windows might break. Now, all we need is for one of the cooks to run out yelling that there is a fire in the kitchen, and I'm pretty sure the fireball of disaster will be complete. A hot and spicy doomsday scenario. I find that this is in no way a good way for a teenager to go. But hey, while I'm here, I'm going to enjoy my meal and the disaster that comes with it. It's been 30 minutes and the storm has died down enough for my mom to be able to come and pick me up. I finished my food and I think it's time to head out. I can't wait to visit again. Well, that was an incredibly fun experience. I didn't think my inability to visit a Taco Bell discouraged from the game, but it did make me hungry, so I'll probably ask my sister to make some burritos in the near future. I kind of had a hard time getting to this game because of life and stuff, but I'm happy I did and I enjoyed every minute of it. The art I did was really fun to do as well, and I am happy with how it turned out. It was a really light-hearted and funny game, and I would highly recommend it. I will definitely be playing through it again as I found the cootie catcher mechanic super entertaining. With that, I do think it's time for me to go grab some nachos, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment telling me what's your favorite fast food restaurant. And with that, I will see you next time.